I just asked that.
Say at the
because-
Coast Guard
I just
meeting,
asked
they,
that because some of the fishermen stuff that.
Yeah, so we feel like we're really fortunate with regard
And
to.
just for
that so far.
clarification, with the additional units, it's still gonna be within the original footprint.
That's correct, yeah, good
So
question,
there's
yeah.
gonna be no extra.
Exactly, it'll be marked the same way, there's no changes to the capacity of the cable that's installed.
So they're not gonna lose any more area than they've already.
Right, okay.
Just so everyone at home knows.
Yeah, thank you for that clarification. So what we're doing now is that we're initiating some of the early licensing and consultation efforts for the Western Passage project, in addition to working on second phase of Coptic Bay. And so our resources are fairly stretched. The engineering group has a lot of work ahead of them, and we have begun the process of pre-application meetings with resource agencies, stakeholder groups, including folks in New Brunswick, because of the proximity to the project. Yeah. And so that's going to be a real effort at installing and implementing the op-gen power systems. Licensing time frame is fluid. We're evaluating exactly how much effort and what that's going to look like. As of right now, we anticipate putting in a draft application for that project December of next year, and then building it out from there. So, what else, Bob, are we missing here?
Well, I'd like to speak a little bit about economics. We have to be a lean and nimble company. These are challenging times, and so we have to use our resources wisely for those people, private people who've invested in us, and also public resources. And so the changes that we make, whether it's to the machine itself or whether it's to us, our approach of implementation, has that in mind because we want to continue to be successful and be a player in the field. Recently there was a conference in London. The Europeans, especially around the United Kingdom and in the North Sea, have been in this marine energy business for a decade or so. And like the wind industry, we're kind of catching up with them. Lubec is known now internationally. Our region is known here because of what we have achieved through the effort of all parties involved. And when people from that international conference have seen that Ocean Renewable Power Company, with the help of communities, has become grid connected, has done a maintenance cycle successfully, and has plans to go forward and be a survivor, that is the spin-off that has really the most direct economic benefit thus far. This summer when I was down here, we brought people in and to show them the site, plus also show them the community. We'd be down on the front street, Water Street and all, and we get to look at the resources down in the Lubec Narrow and other areas here, and it's nothing like sitting on the deck there watching the fog. I'm looking forward to it in about 4 or 5 months. But, we got a little bit of winter to go through yet. But there's really, in terms of economy, it's still the ecotourism part of it and the notoriety. When you look at North America, whether it's out on the West Coast, Alaska, or even overseas, this area of the North American continent is being recognized now. And we hope that we can continue to contribute to making this a contributor to the economy.
So we've had a real productive couple of years. Our staff has been working together tremendously. With that said, we do have limited resources, as we know. We've had additional preliminary permits issued to us, including Kendall Head, Lubec Narrows, and Treat Island. We've made the decision recently that because of some of the early evaluation efforts that we've had on those locations and the fact that we have a full court press on these 2 projects, we've decided it's in our best interest to let those permits go at this point. There's many reasons for that. The primary one being we need to focus on implementing these, improving the technology as we go, make sure that we have a successful couple installations here. And we continue to listen to the fishermen and the marine users. And there's been some concern with a couple of those areas, and we just don't, we feel like our attention's better serve focus on these projects for now. And so that will be a notice. I know I sent John a memo on that. That will be released to the agencies and to the stakeholders before the year ends. And again, that would be surrendering Kendall Head, Lubec Narrows, and Trina. You know, if there's other questions, we'd be happy to try to answer those now, offline, whatever's more convenient.
I do have a question, if I may. 2 days after the recent scallop season opened, the DMR saw fit to republish a Coast Guard warning about the location of your footprint.
Okay.
Was that in response to a specific incident, or was that just precautionary?
I don't know the exact answer to that, to be honest with you. I believe that was precautionary. We do know that the radio announcements we've requested, they coincide with the dragging seasons. So I think that was just a result of that. But because we've had a couple minor incidences, we have engaged, as Bob mentioned, Marine Patrol, Station Eastport, and Waterways Division in South Portland. Together, they're making sure that the mariners that need to know on a fairly regular basis, and that includes the complete seasons for the fisheries, in addition to any major operations that we had planned. Our contractor, Pyramid Construction, would have that dialogue with the Coast Guard, making sure they know when the barge is coming in and off station, and things of that nature.
Well, thank you. I want to say that our relationship with you has been the highest professional, and we're very pleased with that, and it's a good relationship, and I know you guys are trying hard. I see some changes in your design for these OC gens. Now, they're buoyancy positive. Is there a Cort or a Venturi effect with the structure surrounding the blades that improves?
Yeah, and again, those are just for illustrative purposes for now, obviously. But there is a lot of work to be done.
Right.
Whether these are held independently from one another, kind of daisy chain, or whether they're within a module, is yet to be determined. But it will have a positive buoyancy aspect, held anchored to the seabed with high tension mooring rails. And thank you for the comment, Michael. It's been
it has. It's been an enjoyable relationship between you guys, and we're really happy that you're pressing through with improving this technology, because I believe it's the future.
Everybody's been very great. I appreciate the availability and transparency between John and the selectmen, and being a conduit with some of the residents and landowners. So,
I think as far as the people are concerned, you know, it's a nice thing change to actually work with the fishermen and stuff. Most other people come in and they just want to do their thing and don't care if it disrupts. So you guys, through the entire process, have been very receptive to changing your ideas and placement to benefit them as well, and it's worked well. Thank you.
One of the other things I'd like to say is one of our goals since we first came to the area in 2007, at least because I've been here since then, has been what can we do with the younger population? And this year we're working in collaboration with I think it's Community College or Community One or something of that nature, to try to bring the regions, and this is wide around eastern Washington County, the younger school age in the 4th, 5th grade up to 6th, 7th grade, to have them have an appreciation of the environment around them, to have them aspirations, not just necessarily in hydrokinetics, but just have aspirations that things can, with attention, can be developed. And so this is part of the spin-off that we're trying to participate with in the community development as well, is to work with the younger people to show them the possibilities that come.
Well, one of the things I look at is if you fellows are very successful at this and you generate a lot of electricity, whether it's electricity and it's power, usually industry takes a look at different things and finds out about putting different things in different areas. And with the second deepest seaport over there to go combined, it's like you're adding more fingers on the hand.
Right,
You know, I mean, one ties in with
Right.
the other, and I think that's a great idea
Right.
because it's what it takes.
Yeah, no, we've seen for a while that there's a means to coexist with some of the marine industry, no doubt. And from the pre-commercial testing activities through the beta program, and now the first commercial installation, we've proven that that works. So.
Yeah, doing a good job.
We haven't lost sight, we won't take any more time. We have longer term visions, but, we have to be able to maintain, be on the playing field.
Yeah.
So bear with us and we'll be
Be very
back to give you an
interesting.
update.
We're gonna watch very
Thank you.
closely.
And please let us know if you want us to come in more regular or less often, or, we're trying to figure out the best,
No, it's been often enough to
Okay,
maintain a
okay,
good
good.
relationship.
I would like to thank your involvement in our community, aside from the title project, with the parade and with, most recently, the main college circle, which I've been involved in,
Yeah.
and it's been a great opportunity for local
Yeah.
students, and something that I'm sure will continue.
Thanks, Sarah. No, it's been fun, and I didn't get to read all of the essays, but I've seen a few of them, and as expected, they were wonderful. So we're very happy and proud to be part of that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Safe trip back.
Yep.
These handouts will be available up here at the town office. Should anyone want to come up and get one, please feel free to come and pick one up.
I want to give an update to the board on my conversations with Nick Hodgkins. He's with the Maine DEP. He come to Lubec and we sat down and we discussed a possible brownfield application for the Columbian factory site.
Which is the historical site, correct?
The historical,
Building behind the historical site.
yes.
These people don't know where it is.
The Historical Society President, Barb Salito, was there as well. Some of the recommendations by Nick is that the Historical Society may not be an eligible applicant. Because they did not do an all-appropriate inquiry before acquiring the property in 2000, they may not be eligible for cleanup funding. And that is still something that he's working on. If they are not eligible, there may need to be a holder of the property during the cleanup grant process. The Historical Society could convey the property to the town by a quitclaim deed. The town would hold the property during the cleanup process. This could be up to 2 years. Nick has indicated he's willing to come to the January 3rd, 2013 Selectmen meeting to discuss this project further with the Selectmen. The process would involve putting together a committee, and Nick recommended hiring an environmental consultant early in the process. The consultant would help put together a bid packet. Nick said most consultants will put together the bid packet first and only expect to get paid if the bid is successful. Like he said, they understand that's how it is. Nick recommended applying for a full amount of $200,000. Any unused funds would be returned. A match can be for up to 20% of the grant amount. However, matches can include in-kind and include public works, town staff, and other services can be considered part of the community match. Nick also stated that Lubec could apply for a hardship. Given the area's median income and poverty levels, Nick felt this area could qualify due to the area being economically disadvantaged. Nick stated the waterfront is a resource and there's potential for redevelopment without the dangerous building on the property. The process includes public participation, quarterly reporting, and 8 to 9 months of discussion. There would be public hearings prior to the beginning of cleanup. In talking with Nick, they're really looking for the community to be involved. The goal is to have a success story of a property being cleaned up and providing benefits to the community. If this happens, the project stands a good chance to be chosen. Possible consultants used by Nick include, you got a list of companies here that do cleanup, do consultant. They include GEI, CES, Crederi, AMET, Ransom, Summit, and Campbell Environmental. A lot of these companies are located around the Portland area. First steps would include a quitclaim deed to transfer the property to the town if necessary. Meeting with the community to discuss a vision for the property. The application would be due between September to December. Tips and tricks training done by EPA in Augusta and Point South, usually around August. This is to help with the grant application. This is to training to how to write the grant, what they're looking for, how to make the grant application successful. Nick discussed leasing a piece of town-owned property as part of Lubec's match and creating a biopile. This is a mixture of fuel-contaminated soil from the site and manure.